Hello, friends. I'm talking very quietly because I have a very sick child at the moment, and my partner's in the lounge room. This video is exactly what it's titled: Surviving Suicide. What nobody tells you. So, immediately, if you are fortunate enough to survive a suicide attempt and you're getting help and you're healing just as I am, well done. I'm proud of you. Keep going. What nobody talks about when it comes to surviving suicide, because it's not the survivors we hear about, it's the ones who succeed that we hear about. Suicide survival is not often talked about, and the ramifications that follow as a result of attempting suicide. I was lucky. I got help. Police arrived just in time. I got to the hospital just in time. You know, I was admitted to the psych ward. But what nobody tells you is the impact that those actions have on you and on the people around you. Me personally, when I realised I'd survived back in November, initially I was very angry because it's not what I wanted. I was angry. But now, 5 months later, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I have the right help. I'm healing. I'm talking about my experience and my story. And because I've navigated the mental health system, I hope to use this channel to help others learn to navigate the mental health system and teach others how to seek help, because the unfortunate reality is, I'm not sure what it's like in other countries, but in Australia, the health system overall is grossly under-resourced and underfunded. The mental health system even more so. So if you want help and if you need help and if your life depends on it, the unfortunate thing is you need to know what to say to the right people at the right time, which is something that over time I hope to educate you, dear friend, so that you do get the right help at the right time, so that you can begin your healing process. But surviving suicide, what they don't tell you the emotions, the roller coaster that you experience when you realise that, when you're with it enough to realise that it didn't work. I experienced anger, disappointment, grief. And then as I worked through those emotions and I started looking outside of me, I could see I saw what it did to my loved ones. They were hurt, they were confused. Some of my best friends were heartbroken. They all felt helpless. And they all felt guilt. My family and my friends, they all felt guilt, you know, and my husband, they all felt guilt because they didn't know that I was as bad as I was. And they felt guilty. And they carried that burden with them until I got to a stage with them that I was able to help them let that go. But they carried a burden of guilt because they didn't realise I needed help. But they didn't realise I needed help because I didn't say anything. I didn't reach out. Some members who are in my life have been incredibly supportive. I have 3 siblings. One straight away went into how can I help, what do you need me to do mode, and he has been fucking incredible. Another of my siblings, it was too much, and unfortunately that sibling and I have not had a conversation since December, if that. I've tried reaching out with no success. The second to last of my siblings was really upset that I didn't ring them and talk to them. But they were relieved that I was alive. And they were just relieved. And the last of my siblings, my bonus sibling, they cried. And they were devastated that I felt that bad, that it came to that. And they cried not only because of my actions, but because they nearly lost me. And they cried with relief that I wasn't successful. And now my bonus sibling is there for me all the time. It's not uncommon for me to have... It's not uncommon for me... Sorry, my dinner's just being put in front of me. Thank you, that looks really nice. It's not uncommon for me and my bonus sibling, if I ever freak out in the middle of the night, I'll ring my bonus sibling. The phone always gets picked up, every time, without doubt. I'm eating my dinner, so another thing that they don't tell you is that you lose people. Not just family, but friends. Close ones. Ones that you thought were going to be there forever. Some of them will be confused and angry and lash out and say things out of raw emotion that can and will cause the demise of said friendship. Some will vanish. They'll disappear. Black hole. One minute you're friends, the next they're gone. And you don't really know why. Some friends will say that they'll always be there for you and to ring any time. But the reality is that when you do make those phone calls, they don't pick up. And they don't always pick up because they're scared of what they're going to hear on the other end of the phone. Did she try it again? Is she in hospital? Has she hurt herself? Nobody tells you that stuff. On the other side of the coin, nobody tells you that when you survive suicide, that you find out who really cares about you. Who really cares about you. One of my best friends dropped everything, argued with her boss, put her job at risk, got on a plane and flew over 4 states to spend a week with me. People that I didn't, being on social media, people that I didn't realise actually genuinely gave a shit about me. And the fact that I was alive came out the woodwork. I learnt that more people cared about me than I thought. And why did I think that? Why did I think nobody cared? Good old mental illness and postnatal depression. And then there's my partner. He could have left. He didn't. I'm grateful for that every day. He has been incredibly supportive. He's taken so much time and put so much energy and so much effort into understanding me and trying to understand how my brain works. So he quite often now is able to catch me before I realise I'm about to fall. I'm lucky I have that kind of support. It's one of the millions and millions and millions of reasons that I love him. But not everyone has that kind of support. So, and the other thing they didn't tell me, that they don't talk about, is surviving suicide. All the amazing moments that you would have missed out on. Like, it's just, when you come out the other side and you put the work in, you see life differently. And just even the simplest things are just so magical to me now. Like, I'm so wrapped up in my relationship with my husband and my son, and if I was successful I wouldn't have that. So please, if you have a black dog at your door, or mental health demons, and you're thinking that the world is better off without you, trust me, it's not. The world will be a darker place without you. I speak from experience because I've seen it for myself. Yes, I've lost people. And there's one in particular that I just can't let go of her. So I'll just keep trying until she tells me not to. But had I not survived all the moments and the memories, like, I wouldn't have experienced them. I mean, Foo Fighters have just released a new song. I never would have heard it. Never would have heard it. You know, my son's almost crawling. Never would have seen it. My partner was awarded 25 years at work. I never would have been here for that. My student midwife, she just graduated and received her midwifery parchment. I never would have been able to congratulate her and see her in her robes and see her holding my son after what my pregnancy and my labour was. I've become great friends with my neighbours. That never would have happened. What they don't tell you is surviving suicide is a hard slog. But if you can get the right help, which I hope that you take my advice as I release segments. If you can get the right help, I do promise you that what nobody tells you is with the right help and the right team and the right support and the right people in your life and the right mix of meds, recovery is possible. I know, I'm recovering. The world needs you, just like the world needs me. Nobody tells you that. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, please make sure that today, or whenever you watch this, you indulge in some self-care. You make a point of loving yourself and spend time with someone who makes you laugh and who uplifts you. Because we all deserve that. Until next time, take care.